Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 148 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 148 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you are new here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I am so glad that you are here with me this week. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to support me on the journey. Before we dive into this week's episode, I always like to make sure that I set the foundation. I know you guys have I feel like I'm a broken record, and I am, but clarity is really important, and clarity is actually one of the main foundations that we will use to build this house, this safe space. So I like to make sure that I start off with laying the proper foundation and talking about clarity and love. So clarity is really straightforward. I just like to make sure that you understand that the Well Done Life podcast is a podcast that I created for women. I created this space because I feel like women are the foundation of society, and we need spaces where we can learn, share, and grow together. So welcome. I definitely hope that you stay a while. I hope you have lots of great things to share with other amazing women and that we learn and grow together. So now that you know why you're here, let's talk about one of my other favorite foundational things, and that is love. I'm a sucker for love, and I believe in love. And I think that one of the ways that I can share my love for you is by praying for you. And I feel like we don't pray enough for each other in this world. And I'm a really strong believer that when two or more come together in prayer, we are amplifying and coming into agreement. So I like to make sure that I send you prayers each week. And this week, I'm definitely sending you prayers of rest. Life is lifing, y'all. The streets are busy. We are all in our phase of hot girl or hot grown women summers coming up, and we are doing all the things. I am hoping that you are prioritizing times to just sit down, like literally just sit down, put your feet up, give yourself a break, and just rest and relax, because sleep is essential and rest is essential to your growth as a person, to your new levels, new seasons. You can't do all the things if you're tired, as well as it is essential to skincare. Because we will actually talk about it, my guest and I, about how rest is essential to the soul. I mean, it's one of those things. Outside of having a great spirit and drinking lots of water, it is essential to you being able to live your best life and look like you are living your best life. So I do hope that you give yourself rest this week. I'm also sending you prayers of empathy. Again, when you're out here doing all the things, it is very easy to get caught up in just the madness of it all. And I think we have to understand that there are people who are going through things that we just have no idea about. And when we lead with empathy, we give space for people to be seen and to feel heard and to be understood. Even if they're not agreed with, they feel understood. And I think that it's important in days like this, in times like this, especially when we are dealing with people that we love. We don't have to always try to win every argument. There really aren't winners in arguments. I really feel like it's just about giving space so that you can receive feedback, so that you can hear maybe something that, even though it may not seem like it's something that you want to learn, it is something that you needed to learn. And in spaces like that, that is why empathy is so important, because you have to be able to kind of take yourself out of it and hear and see what someone else is experiencing. So maybe that you can have a fresh perspective. So I am praying that you have a little empathy, a lot more empathy when you're dealing with other people, as well as when you're dealing with yourself. We've talked about how I know I have talked about how I am my greatest critic. So it is very important for me to always try to learn how to speak over myself in a positive way, be as empathetic with myself as I am with other people, so that I'm not tearing myself down mentally. And for those people that struggle with it, I pray that you are able to, glean a little bit of that for yourself. It's not easy, but don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing your absolute best. And you know what? That's enough. So I pray for you empathy as well. I always like to pray for abundance for you guys. I'm definitely believing that we have all the monies and all the things are being acquired to us, but also, like I said, abundance in your spirit. That is very important. You know, if you don't have people to share the gifts with or do the trips with and just live your life with, what is it worth? You know, it's just a bunch of stuff, and stuff never equates to your soul. Make memories, laugh lots, love hard, and just be open and realize that you are equipped with everything that you need to live your best life on all levels abundantly. So those are just my prayers for you guys this week. It seems like those are just being like consistent ones. I just, again, feel like in this time that we're in, it's so transformative and we're all trying to accomplish so many things. Those things just keep sticking with me. So I hope it doesn't sound repetitious, but definitely know that in my heart, it is just truly about covering and making sure that we are all covered and aligned as we are out here on our journeys to living our best life. So I'm recording tonight on Wednesday, April the 12th at 10:21 p.m. It has been a busy week so far, but a really good one. You know, I'm really blessed, super busy, but feeling really good about it. I hope you guys are too. Last week I was back with another new episode, and I hope you guys got a chance to check it out. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Feeling All the Feels, I would definitely recommend it, because kind of like what I mentioned to you guys last week, you know, it is very important in this season as we are building our dreams and doing all the things that we talk about, that sometimes we're in our feelings while we're doing all the things, and you're feeling all of the feels because there's just so many different emotions that come up when you are out here operating at your max level. I mean, we are talking about everything from stress, we are talking about fear. So we're talking about just like questioning whether or not, you know, God was really, like, we were really ready for this blessing. I mean, let's just be honest. Sometimes, you know, some of us have had a moment of doubt. Not saying that we're doubting now, God's, but, you know, you just have a moment of doubt. Like, are you sure I'm ready for this elevation? You know, God, you might be seeing a whole nother level that I'm not at, and I'm just not 100% sure of myself. And how do you speak to that type of fear? How do you control your fear? How do you harness your fear so that you can live at your best level? Like I was telling a friend of mine, I'm flying close to the sun, and you know, it's a great feeling, but it's very scary at the same time. And so along that line, I have kind of mentioned and alluded to you guys that we're leading up, I believe, into a series where I'm going to start talking to women about what they're processing, because that's really what we're all doing in this season of abundance, in this season of feeling all the feels. We are processing. We are processing from past traumas that we are growing from, or we are identifying to be able to grow from. And we are moving into this new era, this new opportunity where we are living our best lives, and all the things that we prayed for, cried for, begged for, everything is coming to pass. And the natural reaction of it is like, okay, I'm really excited, but are you sure this is my time? Because I don't know, which in turn leads to processing. And so it just, as kind of fate would have it, I wound up connecting with an amazing beauty mogul. I'm going to call her a beauty mogul. And she has started her multiple businesses, as well as now transitioned into a side of her business where she's really tapping into her personal experiences with divorce, and just betting on herself and going out here and feeling all the feels and processing. So I'm really excited this week to bring you my guest, Jenoir Lynne. So if you guys will grab a cup of water, a cup of tea, maybe a glass of wine, whatever feels right, sit back, relax. She will be with you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, audience. My name is Jenoir Lynne. I am a beauty brand architect. And under that title, there's lots of many hats that I wear. But the gist of it is that I am a beauty instructor. So I teach people different beauty techniques, particularly continued education stuff. So for like estheticians and nurses, they learn some aesthetic things with me. And then I'm also a beauty business coach. I have a product line with beauty products. I do quite a few things as well as some public speaking as well. Yes.
Awesome. Wow. You've got definitely your foothold into beauty. Okay. So that just makes me think instantly, how did you get started in the beauty business?
It's funny because, as a kid, I never I didn't grow up saying, oh, I want to be in the beauty business, that type of thing. It kind of found me, so to speak.
Okay.
So I remember years ago watching an episode of The Housewives of Atlanta, and the ladies were talking about mink lashes. And I was just so intrigued by that. I had worn lashes before, but I was just intrigued by, mink fur lashes. Like, wow, what is that? So I researched about it. And, I just wanted to kind of know more about it. So once I actually moved to Atlanta, I ended up taking a class to get certified in it. And that's really where my business grew from. And from there, I've added all different types of techniques and stuff. But it started with the lashes.
That's really cool. Because I was going to say a lot of people love lashes. And I know I've seen a lot of people start smaller businesses that way. Was it really easy for you to kind of break into?
The lash part, taking the class and stuff was easy, but I wouldn't say that building up my clientele was easy.
Mm-hmm.
That probably took me maybe about 9 months or so. So, there was definitely some grind involved there.
I can imagine.
I actually started out working in the back of a salon. It was like a kitchen where I had a partition up, I can hear the fridge going, and I'm doing commission with this girl that had a salon. So I have very humble beginnings with my business.
But that's okay. I think sometimes, we all have to remember you got to grind to get it in the beginning. So that definitely is grinding it out. But I love the fact that you invested in yourself. You let your curiosity lead you into this next path. Has that always been something that has helped you along the way?
For sure. I actually was an entrepreneur before my beauty business. I've always kind of had that spirit because my dad was an entrepreneur, and I saw him. He was a truck driver, and then he started to own his own company, and he had other drivers and multiple trucks. And I just kind of saw how that grew. And he'd go on his runs and stuff and come home and have me count his money and that type of thing. So it was I saw what that whole entrepreneur life was like. So I've always loved doing that. But I've had a boutique. I had a daycare before. I've had quite a few. Yeah, I've had quite a few entrepreneurial businesses. So yeah.
I like that though. And I was going to say, have you always, because I always feel to me, whenever a lot of people are entrepreneurs, they feel really comfortable in obviously betting on themselves. You feel confident that you are able to make this a successful business.
Yeah.
Have you always felt like that sense of confidence, or has there ever been a time where you struggled, with trying to maintain that so that you could keep being the entrepreneur that you are?
I think it came easy, and it always comes easy in the beginning for me anyway. First starting something out, the excitement is there, all that good stuff. But as any entrepreneur knows, when you've had a business for years, you have the ebbs and the flows of things. There's ups, there's downs. You have really high seasons, you have low. So, it's easier in the higher seasons, but it's definitely work in the lower seasons. So, it's something that I have to kind of work on when things slow down or whatever.
we're human. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of work on it then. But in the beginning, initially, it's kind of natural and I'm just kind of excited about it.
Yeah, and I think that that's the natural way of how it is, because like you said, it's like it's new, and you're all excited and stuff like that. But it's like, when we get in these seasons, because you and I were chatting a moment ago in regards to kind of like being in this season of transformation. It's like,
Oh,
it's been, to me, I've been telling everyone, I really do feel like this is a season of abundance, but it is a season of transformation. Like we were talking about, like the Lord has a really good sense of humor, and he's going to give you everything you want, but he's going to send a lot of life.
it comes with those things that we want, for sure. So yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Things have definitely transitioned for me throughout my business for sure.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, like, with this season that you're, of transformation and everything, are you in that same boat? Are you feeling a lot of life right now?
I am. So, I've been separated for 3 years, divorced for 2. So
Okay.
that was like a major life change for me.
Mhm.
Going from being married and, having my business, things just kind of flow a little differently when you have a partner, versus being a single mom. So, that was definitely a transition for me, initially. So I had to do a lot of, rewiring and, reconfiguring things to my new way of life versus how it used to be.
I can understand that, because I would assume, obviously, with that partnership, you have someone to, bounce ideas off and be supportive of you and kind of help, if you need that push, that confidence aspect of it. As you've made that decision now to like rewire, rework, what has been one of the most impactful things that you've learned about yourself on this journey?
Oh my goodness. I've come to really learn my strength,
Mhm.
honestly. Like I've always known that I was strong, but I've kind of discovered new levels of strength in this because, what a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people really understand about divorce is like, of course, that, your life is going to change, that things are going to be different, but like until you're actually in it, like it's nothing like you thought it was going to be. So it's like all these different elements of things that, even the small things that you don't think about that are different. So
Mhm.
it's definitely been my strength, that I have, really noticed, that is kind of like, come through for me. That's been like the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
And I think that's great, because I can only imagine how tough it must be, like you said, to kind of go through it and have the
Mhm.
experience. I have friends who have gone through it, and it's tough. It's a major life change.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, trying to continue and grow your business. Did you ever feel like there was a time like, okay, I need to pivot away from what I'm doing? Or did you just constantly feel like, you know what, this is why I need to go even harder, because it is just me?
You know what? I won't say that I felt like I needed to pivot
Mhm.
away, but there was definitely a period where I felt like God just had me being still.
Mm.
And it wasn't that I wanted to do it. It was like, you need to sit down because it was like I had not really like taken time to mourn my marriage. Like it's a mourning process. Not
Mhm.
even about my ex because I don't want to still be with him, but it's just like the just having that person be in your life and having someone there, just having
Yeah.
somebody there, even if it was a bad relationship, it's like the person was there, it was predictable. So now you have all this unpredictability and
Mm.
it's just a complete change.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's funny because I recently was talking to everyone about how in this season that we're in, one of
Mhm.
the things that you have to do is learn how to speak to your fear.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, or let me ask you this,
Mhm.
do you feel like fear motivates you, or do you feel like fear stops you?
I feel I feel like that's a good question. I didn't think about that. So I think for me,
Mhm.
I think fear motivates me,
Okay.
honestly. I
Okay.
think it motivates me because I don't ever just stop.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Like, even when God kind of had me being still, it was more of like my business didn't stop. My
Right.
motivation for running my business didn't stop. I was still
Mhm.
doing it, but it was more so like I was kind of going through the motions with things that was just different. And I
Right.
was more into like the personal development side of things more than
Okay.
anything. That was my major focus.
Uh-huh.
I was still going.
Mhm.
So like even when I'm afraid and I don't know what to expect, I'm still motivated. I'm still going to keep going. I don't just like freeze and stop.
And I think that's great. And I think that a lot of people kind of have to start to ask themselves that question about
Yeah.
fear,
Yeah.
because you got to learn how to harness it, especially in seasons like this, because
Mhm.
you're trying to create something that's, essentially you've never done before. So you're going to kind of fly blind a little bit. So I
Mhm.
admire how you have recognized that about yourself. Now, the flip to that would be, when you're in those situations, even though it doesn't stop you, how do you control it?
The fear,
Yeah, what do you do to control your fear?
man, I get as close to God as I can. Like
Yes.
I'm in bushes, girl. Like day, night, throughout the like I'm in the word, I'm reciting scripture, like I'm in my worship music all day, nothing else. Like I'm monitoring what I'm watching on TV. Like I'm guarding my spirit.
Yeah.
And it's like
I
if
know.
it ain't about God, like I don't got time
Right.
for
I ain't got time.
it. Yeah, that's the only way I can get through because you can get distracted so easily, and that fear it can paralyze you when you let it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I totally feel you because, again, God has definitely, been a filter. I find in seasons like this where things are going so well, and
Hmm.
especially trying to move to next levels, I have to pray even harder. Like I'm praying harder than when things are rough so that
Yeah.
I can keep it together, because you're right. It's very easy to get distracted. I was telling a friend of mine tonight that it was like, I'm trying to do this thing and I feel like I'm going too close to the sun, like Icarus. I'm
Mhm.
like, ooh, I'm getting a little too close to the sun, just a little bit, but that's where I have to operate from. And I love that you recognize that about yourself as well, because that is important, to be able to speak to your fear and to be able to control it in that regard.
Yeah.
So, with you now in this season of transformation, this season of growth, and kind of moving through, obviously, your divorce, and where do you feel like you're being led now?
Oh my goodness. God is leading me to help other people with divorce and their businesses. It's like my gifts and my strengths and things that I've just kind of,
Mhm.
because before, honestly, it was mainly in my business. It was not like I knew that I was operating in my gift, but that wasn't my motive at first.
Okay.
So now my motive and like what my why,
Mhm.
it's about other people. It's
Okay.
about serving, that type of thing. It's not just for personal gain
Mhm.
the way that it was before. So I feel like he's leading me to really like serve others,
Mhm.
and helping other people with all, this stuff that I've been through. It's like you've been through it. Like you can reach back and help other people who have gone through this or who need help through it. So that's where I'm being led now, talking my head off and
That's
helping.
okay. There's more of us that need to talk, because that's how we make change, when we sit down and
Yeah.
talk. I found it very intriguing though when you said that, before it was about personal gain.
Hmm.
When you were talking about that, was it more so in in the sense of, obviously, just kind of maybe staying within the influencer aspect of it, or the monetary aspects? Why do you feel like it was not in that vein originally?
I would not say the influencer thing because um Like the fame,
Mhm.
that doesn't really entice me. It was more
Right.
so the money. Like, and it wasn't even just money for me. It's more like the freedom that money brings. So
Yes.
it's like, I know if I got more money, I got more freedom to do this. So I got to get the money.
Mhm.
So then it turns into, well, for me, it turned into me chasing after the money. It wasn't about the people. It wasn't about,
Yeah.
me serving at one point. So it's like once God sat me down, he really showed me that. So it's just like my heart posture is just completely different now with my business and, just life period.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally can understand that. And the reason I brought that up is because I think a lot of times, and for myself, even before I was a podcaster, I used to also have more of an influencer side of
Mhm.
my of my brand, and I
Yeah.
focused more on my caregiving story and all those things. But as I
Mhm.
got old, as I got more mature into what I wanted to do, you're right, it's like your heart posture changes and your focus changes.
Mhm.
And I brought it up because I think a lot of people don't recognize that when it's easy to get caught up in the money. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, money is great and you can do good things and you're hustling and doing all those things. But the real heart of any passion, the real heart of any next level is always going to be about discovering the heart, your
Mhm.
heart. Where does your heart lie? And
Yeah.
finding that you want to share your journey with people, I think is really powerful. Do
Yeah.
you ever get afraid of sharing your journey?
Oh, 100%. Like when I first literally, it's probably been about a year
Mhm.
or so that I've kind of known, like I've had that nudge to kind of share about my journey. But it was like, no, like I don't want that to be, like I don't want to wear the badge of divorce survivor, single mom, but it's like,
Right.
honestly, that's part of my journey right now.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
worn the other badges too. I've been
Mhm.
a wife and all that other stuff, but it's like this is the season that I'm in right now and I'm not
Mhm.
ashamed of that. So, you know, um it's not that I wanted to hide from it, but it's my life. So it's
Yeah.
very personal,
Yep.
but you know, here I am talking about it. So,
And I'm so thankful that you are, because I think a lot of women, including myself, will identify with it and feel seen and heard. So I admire that. Since you've worn so many badges, that leads me to think of a question. If
mhm.
you were to give yourself a badge, a name at this point in time, what would you call yourself? What would that badge be?
Man, just one.
Just one. Or you can give me, how many do you want to give me? You can give me a couple if you'd like.
You know what? Right now, I don't know why I'm feeling this in my spirit. I'm gonna say warrior.
I love it. All right,
Yeah,
warrior.
I'm gonna say that because I mean, some of the things that I've had to face would have taken some people out for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and for me to still be going and still maintaining, um, people say all the time to me, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, I don't know either. I'm just doing it. Like, if I can be real with y'all, keep it a stack. I don't know either. Like, God, of course. But like, I'm just doing it every day. I just get up and I do it.
And that's okay, because that to me is like the essence of living our well done life. Like,
Yeah.
it's just recognizing that there's no experts. Like, we all have these beautiful, hard, ugly journeys.
Hmm.
And when you actually sit down and talk with people, you'd be amazed what people are going through. You'd be amazed what people are surviving or what they have survived, what you can learn. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're a warrior. And the fact that you are still standing and sitting here vulnerable, ready to tell your story, that's right. You better call yourself a warrior, mama.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely that came to mind. So I'm aware of that one tonight.
Okay, wear it. I definitely please. I'm so glad that that is the badge that you would give yourself, because it sounds to me kind of like you're still processing.
Hmm. Yeah, it's still a process. I mean, I found myself feeling like, oh, I'm out of, and you do have those, like
Hmm.
definitely feel like I'm on the other side of things, but there's still a process here too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I
So,
was going to ask you, and I know this probably sounds so random, but I have to ask, are you happy?
yes, I am happy.
I love that.
I am
That is,
100% happy. I have no regrets.
that's good.
And as hard as it's been, I would do it all over again because I know what what I walked away from.
Mhm.
Um, this is so much healthier. It's not easy. It's not what I had pictured for my life. You get married and you think you're going to always be married.
Right.
But, I had to really make some, tough decisions for me and my, betterment, my mental health and all that stuff. So I'm 100% healthy and happy right now. Yeah.
And that is actually the goal. I mean,
Yeah.
people act like it shouldn't be like, why, moms should be focused on being everything for their kids and everything for everyone else.
Yeah.
Your
And I did
happiness is
that. I
paramount.
did that for years. I was married for 15 years. So I did the
Oh, wow.
everyone else thing for
Uh-huh.
15 years.
Yeah, so you've done it long enough.
Yeah, I paid my dues.
I don't blame you. Yeah, it's your time now, and I love that. So with that, how do you prioritize your happiness?
Oh, you know what? I'm learning to just kind of listen to what I need, and that
Mhm.
changes. I'm being more intentional about like being in tune with what it is that I need and how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that way. And just like I'm processing everything. So when I'm able to do that, I'm really able to kind of get to the root of things and figuring out like what does make me happy and, spending more time doing those things. But my happiness is like, it's definitely, up there with my kids type thing. It's
Yeah.
like God, kids, happiness, Like,
I
that's
love it.
yeah, it's up there. It's at the top.
I totally love that. Yes. And I was gonna say, so tell me about your children, boys, girls, combo, what you got?
Yeah. So I have 4 babies. They're not babies anymore, but I know I have 4 kids. 2 boys, 2 girls. I have a 23-year-old, a 18-year-old. Don't laugh. I know.
No.
Everybody's like, you look like
I was
yours.
gonna say you're like the epitome of black don't crack with 4 babies and a 22-year-old. Go, mama. That's right.
Yes. And then I also have a 14 and 7-year-old too.
So
Yeah.
wait. Okay. Now I'm not trying to get in anybody's business, but I have to ask because for those of us that are melanin preserved,
Yes.
mama.
Yeah.
Okay, because I own my age, so I'm 50.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
Girl, see, that's why I'm looking at you. I thought you were like in your 20s and you were about to tell me you had like some toddlers or some
No.
like elementary school children.
No, girl, I'm 40.
See, that's what
Yeah.
good living will do, honey. Good living, prioritizing your happiness, keep
Yes.
your skin right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So with older children, how do they receive this new version of you?
Oh my goodness. You know what? The older kids have been amazing. They definitely notice that I am different, but in a good way. They
Mhm.
notice that, they're like, Mom, you're just so happy now. So um they see that I'm happy and they recognize that. And they've just been great, with helping out with the little kids and stuff, filling in where they can, that type of thing.
I
But
love it.
yeah, they see it, and they're my bigs. I call them my bigs. So they're my bigs. So, we talk about stuff, because they're older and
Yeah.
they see how happy I am now.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful, and you deserve that, and I love how it's like a family affair and, like,
Mhm.
everyone's supportive. Because I think about that as women, especially as you're processing all these life changes and you're building businesses and growing to these new levels. I think it's important to level set with your family, and especially when you have children, to make sure that they understand that you are prioritizing your happiness so that they see the importance of prioritizing their happiness as well as they go through certain situations. So I think it's great. It seems like you have like this full level of support.
Yeah, I do.
And that's a beautiful thing for you.
Yeah.
So how is that pivoting you into, like, now that you are in this new season where you're sharing your journey, what are the priorities of this new season that you're in?
You know what? I just want to be as authentic as possible. I just want to share, my story, and I want to be able to impact, other people's lives and help them in whatever way that may be. Sometimes it's the smallest things, that people will mention. And I'm like, well, I didn't even realize, like I was just posting this just like that type of thing. Like, I didn't mean for it to really impact anyone, but that wasn't my intent, but it, somehow it did. So even the small things, I just want to impact and just, be a light. That's all. That's my goal.
Well, yeah, I think your light definitely is shining bright. And I definitely think that you will impact many people. So as you're like building in your platform and obviously making the pivots, I'm assuming beauty is obviously still weaved into your platform. And definitely, because I agree. I think when we feel beautiful inside, we look beautiful on the outside, like it's a holistic thing. So I can understand the balance. I guess, do you have like any projects or anything coming up where people can support you and learn more about what you've got going on?
Yeah. So right now I am actually on tour.
Oh, nice.
Yay, I'm doing my coaching, and I'm also doing my training classes and stuff I'm touring with right now. So that's definitely one way to support. I'm going to quite a few different cities.
Okay.
And I have them posted on my website. I'll be in Chicago and Miami.
Nice.
I'll be in Cleveland in 2 weeks. So yes, and I've already gone to DC. I've done Philly, and been a couple other places so far this year. But yeah, I'm touring, and I'm also doing some other. I'm working on doing some other speaking engagements and stuff like that too. So as soon as I lock those in, I'm trying to get in on some conferences and stuff like that. But I'm definitely going to post, because I'm this sector of my business and my brand. It's kind of I'm still building this part of it.
Right.
I've done the beauty stuff for so long, and I'm still doing that. But this whole other realm is I'm still building it right now. But definitely can catch me on tour and podcasts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. We have to let everybody know about all the great things that you're doing. And I'll make sure that I put links to everything in the show notes. So guys, don't worry, you won't miss a thing. Because we definitely want to make sure that we support you, because again, like I said, for me, it's all about the authenticity. It's about being able to, share your journey to help everybody grow and learn. So I love that aspect about you. Yeah. So, okay, I have some random questions, because that gets to a segment of the interviews where I have to ask random questions. I'm going to ask like random questions. Okay. So, and they're not too crazy. So
okay.
I know.
I'm saying I'm okay with crazy.
You're okay? Okay. Well, some of them might come out a little bit off glass, but it's nothing too bad. I like to just kind of get in people's folks' business, because I just want to see where the alignment is, because I always feel like there is some. So like you earlier said that you were, you would give yourself the badge of warrior. And I know for myself, this has been a season, and we all have these words of 2023, these vibes, feelings. Do you have a word of 2023?
I do. So every year I do paintings with my kids. We do like vision paintings.
Oh, vision paintings. Are very cool. I've never heard of that. What is that?
Yes, like so we draw, whatever it is. I don't know what you call it. I just have this gift. Like I have dreams about things and I'll have like
Okay.
visions about things. So
All right.
I have my kids to join in and we just draw like what we either want our vision to be for the year.
Okay.
Me, I actually had a vision about this
Nice.
year and it was the word attached to it was rise.
Okay.
So it was a vision of me, just like literally I was like it was almost like a platform and I was just like going up and up and up and up and up. And I could see a crowd.
Right.
That
Okay.
was the vision that I had. So I
love
mean,
it.
I'm saying, yeah. So it's rise.
I like that. And I love the visions. I am one of those sage burning, waist bead wearing, numbers and tension kind of chicks. So I'm all for that. I believe in the vision. So I love that. Yes. And I like how you painted. That's really cool. I've never heard anyone seriously have vision paintings. And
Yeah.
so I think that is really nice. Bring your vision to life. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. And
Okay.
it's in my room. So I see it every day.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you are definitely on the rise, ma'am. I definitely love that. Okay. So your word is rise and you are a warrior. So I definitely see the strength in you. What is one thing that you're doing right now outside of prayer? Obviously we have that helps you stay level set, that helps you stay continuing on the journey.
I would probably say quiet time, personal time.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely get that in daily too. So like, and that looks different every day because every day, being a mom and an entrepreneur, no 2 days look the same in a week.
Sure.
My schedule is different, the kids are doing different stuff. So, one day it may just be, okay, I got my youngest in bed because the other kids, they just, they get themselves in bed, that type of thing. They're teenagers. But, I'll get her in bed and I may just have some quiet time where I can just read in my bed and I'm just quiet. It's my turn my phone off. Or I may go to the supermarket and put a little wine in my tumbler, girl, and just roam the aisles and shop.
Wait. You put a little wine in the tumbler when you go into the supermarket?
Yeah, it's therapy. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that is therapeutic. Actually, that's a clutch idea. So I think some people I know are probably thinking at that tumbler.
Yeah, bubble bath, whatever. Just quiet time,
Oh,
burn
I
some
love it.
candles.
Hey, I'm all about it. Make sure you carve out that space. It sounds like you're also on Team Soft Life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Soft life, yeah.
Okay, yes, Team Soft Life. Okay, this is good. And that wine in the tumbler is definitely clutch. I bet you're going to see a lot of people walking through this grocery store now with tumblers, like nonstop.
Like, hey, girl.
That's right. Cheers up to you, because, girl, I understand.
I know what it is. Yes.
That's super therapeutic. Like,
it is. I promise you. Like, it's quiet. Go late. It's quiet. Not like when everybody's like getting groceries. Like when it's quiet and, the groceries half empty. I'm telling you, it works wonders. For sure.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I'm getting the wine. I totally sense that. So then, do you have a song or what song do you use to help you like turn your swag on? Like when you just got to go out here and get it. Like, do you have one that you just put on?
Yes, like to get me like ready,
like you're hyped for it.
I don't even know who the original artist is, but Beyonce did for her tour. What was that tour called? Where she did the college Homecoming.
Oh, Homecoming, yes. Okay, because I am a Beyonce fan.
Yes,
so yeah.
I never watched this special. I know I'm a bad Beyonce fan because I didn't watch it.
No.
But I kept seeing the clip. So the song Getting to the Money.
Oh, OT Genesis, girl. Everybody mad. Yeah, everybody
I
mad.
have to have that on my playlist, and that is 100%. Like, I will literally play that on my way to like do my classes, and like,
Yes.
yeah, like it gets me hyped.
I love that. Yes. And I have that song. It's so funny in my playlist as well, because
Yeah,
sometimes you just got to go ahead and remind yourself, everybody mad. It's okay. They
yeah,
mad.
like get to it. Yeah.
Right. You focus on getting the paper. Okay. So I love that. I love it. I love it. Yes. I see all the alignment. Totally see all the alignment here. And
Yeah.
so then I have only two more questions.
Okay.
So one of my second to last question is, with everything,
Mhm.
everything that you have been through, everything that you are going through, everything that you are and where you are at this happiness, beautiful level,
Mhm.
what is one of the most impactful things outside of discovering your strength
Mhm.
that you have learned about yourself on this
Mhm.
journey to this point?
Oh my God. You know what? The first thing that just came to mind, and I'm going to just say that. I
Mhm.
want to say something so more eloquent, but I'm going to just say it because it popped in my head.
That's okay. Say it.
Okay. So, and this has to do with my relationship with God, because I've gotten a lot closer to Him during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, you kind of have the narrative of like, God, like He's just standing here, like waving His finger at you, and you better do this and you better do that.
Yeah.
And He's this authoritarian, and it's all rules, rules, rules. I have learned about myself that I am His daughter. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's my
Mm-hmm.
father.
Yep.
Like, that relationship, it's a
Mm-hmm.
soft, a loving, a
Yes,
caring, a graceful, you know what I'm saying?
I
Where I
do.
didn't look at it like that before. So
Yeah.
my relationship with him is just completely different. It's like, I am his daughter.
Yes.
You know? So that's been the biggest thing that I've learned about myself, that I've come to realize. Yeah.
I love that, because I am one to tell friends. I laugh, but I'm thinking about it because one of my friends and I have talked about this before. I'm like, girl,
Mhm.
God is not that petty. God has
Yeah.
way too much He does not have enough free time to worry about trying to chastise us about
Yeah.
all this. And I totally love the fact that I agree. And yes, you are His daughter. We are God's daughters, and God don't play about us, honey.
He
He don't
don't.
play. Daddy don't play about us.
He does not. He doesn't.
I love that. And I definitely can understand what you're saying, because it's like when you're in those seasons and you're going through stuff and discovering who you are, and especially in stillness, it's
Mhm.
amazing how clear you get
Yeah.
about how important you are to Him in
Mhm.
in those seasons. So
It
I
changes everything. It changes
yes.
everything. How you see yourself, how you see other people, how you do things, how you move, how you walk, how you talk, how you dress. I mean, it transforms you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm just, yeah, I totally can resonate with that. So then my final question, and I know we've covered quite a bit of ground today, is what if there was one thing that you would want my audience to know about you that you have not already said, what would that one thing be?
Oh my gosh. Um, oh wow, that's a good question. I feel like I've poured out my
I know that's why I said we've covered a lot of ground, but is there anything else that you feel like there's the one thing that if they don't take away anything else, it's just that one thing they have to know about you?
I'm gonna keep pushing. Y'all gonna see me around. Y'all gonna see me around. Look out for me. I'm coming.
I love it. Yes. You're a warrior, so I would expect nothing
I'm
less from you.
on. Yeah, I'm definitely. Um, y'all gonna see me around. I'm gonna say that. Y'all gonna
All
see
right.
me some more places, and I'm gonna be around. My mission is to make a big impact. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are. I definitely am impacted, because this has definitely been an amazing conversation. And
Thank
I'm so
you.
grateful that you took the time. And y'all have no idea, like, has been so patient with me today. I have been traveling for work, and you have just come through. But this was the conversation that I needed to end the day. Like, it's like this is like the cherry on top. Like, it's been a great day.
Yeah.
All the way up. And this evening has just been top tier. And you just definitely helped me wrap it up very nicely. And I am so thankful for your time. So before we say goodbye, I want you to go ahead and list down all the socials. I promise, guys, I will make sure I have all the information in the show notes, but I want to give you a chance to get your shout outs out, whatever you need, because we're going to support you.
Okay. So I have 2 Instagrams. My first Instagram is at Jenoir Lynne. And you'll spell that for them because I know it's not a very common name.
Yes, but it's a beautiful name, so you're good.
And then my business, like my beauty business page is Minx_Beauty_Institute.
Okay.
And I also have my Jenoir Lynne Facebook.
Yeah.
I also have my Minx Beauty Institute Facebook as well. I do have a Twitter and a TikTok, but I don't really use them like that.
I know.
No, but I have them, but
yeah, same. I'm struggling with that. That's why I'm like, girl, I'm right with you. I understand.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, and then my website for my beauty business is minxbeautyinstitute.com.
Okay. Well, I will make sure I have everything listed in the show notes. And again, like I said, I want to thank you for such a beautiful conversation, because I definitely see that you are a warrior on the rise. Yeah. And I know that great things will continue to follow you. And I'm so honored that we get a chance to support you and be a part of your journey as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
It truly is mine too. So guys, I will have all of Jenoir's information in the show notes. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and I look forward to talking to you guys then. Take care of yourselves and each other and have an amazing weekend. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.